and welcome to all my Flosstube neighbors. I am Chris and this is Xrossstitch, and today is Tuesday, June the 14th, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 53. I'm so happy to have you here today. If you are new to my channel, if you are a new viewer just finding me or someone relatively new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here in the neighborhood, and I hope you like what you see enough to subscribe and ring the bell and like the video. This is primarily a channel about cross-stitching, but we do a lot more here at Xrossstitch. There are stories and toys and giveaways and charity work, and it's just fantastic. But today is a fully cross-stitch centered episode, I'm excited to say. If you are a returning neighbor to the neighborhood, welcome back. It's good to see you again. I missed last week. I'm so sorry I did. I felt guilty about it. But I just was overwhelmed busy, and I just couldn't do it. So I'm back. And today is a special episode because it is a episode by request. And we'll get to that more in a minute, but we have to start the video the way we start every video here at Xrossstitch. If you wonder why I'm making it take a break there, it's because I look at my notes so that I don't have to look down at them when I come back. Each week at Xrossstitch, we begin by naming Handstanding Cat. Handstanding Cat is the top of Tiki, Tree of 1,000 Faces, which is a decorative accent in my bedroom, made of teak driftwood, and the top of it looks, as you can see, like a handstanding cat. And handstanding cat is our mascot here at Xrossstitch, one of the many. And frequently we will name handstanding cat based on your suggestions. I spin a wheel and put it down, but we also use handstanding cat for tributes from time to time. And this week I have a happy tribute. This week, Handstanding Cat is named by our neighbor Donna L. And Donna L asked that we name Handstanding Cat Koryanka after her cat, Koryanka. And Koryanka is right here next to me now. She's a very special kitty cat because she is 11 years old and she is working her way through cancer treatment right now. She is a survivor, a warrior kitty cat. 11 years ago, she accidentally got out through a screened window and she was gone for 4 months. 4 months. She survived on a property amongst foxes, coyotes, and a great horned owl. And let me tell you, a great horned owl could probably take out a cat. But she survived. And they recovered her to their great happiness. And now she is going through treatment for cancer. All of the technicians at the veterinarian call her, and her family calls her, a warrior princess. So this week, in tribute to Koryanka and her being so strong and such a survivor, we are going to name Handstanding Cat Koryanka. Before we move on to the cross-stitching, I have to give you an update on the Mary Will Sal, hashtag Mary Will Sal, that's going on right now. You lovely human beings continue to amaze me with your generosity. Mary Will was an influential figure in my life. If you are new to the channel, you can go back a few when we started this and you can see the story that inspired this. But we are raising money with this stitch along for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, a program which provides children under the age of 5 with books until they are 5 years old, 1 a month for every year. And we have, my dear friend Aida Rosen has provided me and you with 2 beautiful charts of Wedgwood china and daffodils called Wedgwood 1 and Wedgwood 2. If you make a contribution to either Dolly Parton's through the Imagination website directly or through my Buy Me a Coffee link below, I send you these charts. And there's been a tremendous amount of support for it. And I'm happy to say that as of right now, we have raised $3,184 for Dolly's Imagination Library in honor of Miss Mary Will. And that means that 127 children will be able to have books. Not that they wouldn't, because the library is a tremendous organization, but we have enabled 127 more children to benefit from the joys and wonders of reading, and all that reading will do for a growing mind, opening horizons and helping strengthen their education, their critical thinking, so many amazing skills associated with the simple act of reading and delving into the joy of reading. So thank you. Again, if you want to stitch along with us, there are two ways that you can obtain these charts and you can make contributions. One, as I said, is through my Buy Me a Coffee link below. If you do that, I am able to see your email and I will get those to you directly. You can also go directly to Dolly's Imagination Library's website. I have linked that below. And if you make a contribution there, that's absolutely fine. Just forward me your confirmation email from them so that I know that you've contributed. I don't see your payment information. I only see the amount and the details and what have you. Or just take a screenshot of it and send it to me and I will get that to you. I'll get the charts to you immediately. But I couldn't be happier with the response. I couldn't be happier with the support. And we will be doing this at least through the end of June. So if you haven't joined us and you'd like, these are small charts. You can stitch them very quickly and easily. I love seeing them on Instagram using the hashtag MaryWillSal. So please, if you want to take part, take part. And again, I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. So now we move on to the cross stitching. But first, those are roses from my garden. We're about to get some hot, I know many of you are having hot weather, but we're starting to really move into the time here in Southern California when it gets pretty hot. And we're also on water restrictions because we're in a severe drought right now. So I'm not able to water, and roses like water. So I'm not able to water them as frequently and as deeply as they need to. So what I'm doing now as we move towards into summer proper is I'm harvesting them so that I can enjoy the blooms. If you leave them on the bush in hot weather without enough water, they just burn. The leaves start to dry out from the ends out and it works in. So I don't like that. So I just harvested this latest blooming and brought them in. I'm digressing. I don't know why I'm talking about roses, but you know I love roses and you like gardens too. So anyway, okay, today is a WIP parade. Yes, a WIP parade. You may have been able to tell that from the title of the video. But I recently was asked by one of our fellow neighbors to do a WIP parade, and I haven't done one in a long time, and I've been working on so few projects over the past few months that many of you who are new to the channel have probably not seen all of the things that I currently have in progress. And at the end of this WIP parade, there are 15 in total. I have 15 works in progress as of right now. At the end of this WIP parade, I'm going to pontificate about what doing this today has taught me about myself and the emotions that it brought up. But let's go right into it. My oldest work in progress that I began on May the 3rd of 2021 is Winter by Alphonse Mucha. Beautiful, one of my favorite artists, artist in the Art Deco period. And this is Winter. This is part of his larger work, The Four Seasons. This is all on one chart all four of them are on one chart by Julie's Cross Stitch on Etsy. And I began Winter as I said, on May the 3rd, 2021, is my first full coverage piece. And you are looking at what I have gotten done on it right now. I'm torn about this piece. I'm torn about the piece because as I have been stitching it, I don't know that I like the detail, or rather lack thereof. However, I've put a tremendous amount of work into this project and I do love it. I think if I were to stop this and make it a UFO, which is a possibility, then I would just bite the bullet and do all 4 on the one chart and use a different chart. I think Heaven and Earth Designs has one that's more detailed. So that's Winter by Alphonse Mucha. You saw the information about it. I'm very in the air about that one. I haven't worked on it in a while. It is on my WIP Go board. All these things are on my WIP Go board. I just haven't drawn it yet. The number hasn't been called for it yet. So once the number is called, I'm going to have to make a decision. But that is the first and my oldest of my work in progress. Works in progress. There you go. Next, we move on to one that you have seen very recently and one that I just love. I started it on June the 8th, 2021, and this is Bygone Stitches, A Quaker Christmas. This was started as a stitch-along that's being championed by my friends Annie and Artie, the proper stitcher and the vintage stitcher, respectively. I say that in a British accent because every time I try to say it in my southern accent, I can't. Vintage stitcher. It's hard for me to say. The vintage stitcher is much easier for me to say. Artie, I hope you enjoy that. Anyway, this one is amazing. You've seen the progress I've been making on it because I have recently, this was recently called on WIP Go a page finish, which I completed. Ironically, this month's WIP Go is another page finish call for this particular chart. And I'm not going to do it, so I'm going to swap boxes. I'm going to put something else in that frame because the only reason I was able to finish the page last month was because I had already gotten a significant amount of done on that particular page. But this is beautiful. It's a favorite of the neighborhood. This wonderful variegated thread, this DMC, what is it called? This DMC 4520, A Christmas Story. I love it. You've seen it very recently, so we're going to move on, but that is my second oldest work in progress. Moving right along, something you've not seen in forever, but it was started on June the 25th, 2021. This was a piece that you all chose for me. Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. Chart by Cheryl Granda for Glendon Place. This one is, I love it. I think I'm further along on it than this photograph shows. When you, this work in progress photograph, I think I'm further along on that. I think that's a one step back photo, but I didn't want to pull it out of the bag, and it's better photographed when it's on the frame. But I think I may be further along than this. This is a beautiful chart. This is a huge piece. And this is something that I'll probably be working on for a couple of years because I haven't, again, it hasn't been called on my WIP Go board yet. And I haven't pulled it back out. And to be absolutely 100% honest with you, this fabric is difficult to work on. I think I hesitate to stitch it because of that. I'm going to finish it. There's not a question about that because I love it so much. And once it's finished, it's going to be spectacular. But I don't know that I will ever use a Jobelan again. I don't think I like it. But anyway, that's Sleepy Hollow. I started that as part of my spooky summer stitch, which is going on right now. If you are stitching on something Halloween related or spooky related, please use the hashtag spooky summer stitch. Melissa of Stitchman Darcy fame we are doing Spooky Summer Stitch. And just use that hashtag on Instagram and we can see all the spooky things that we're stitching over the summer. But that is Sleepy Hollow, number 3 in the list of works in progress. Next, we have a chart by Owl Forest Embroidery, and this is 100 owls. I love this piece too. I started this with my friend Michael, a Flosstube who has the Flosstube channel Star Parade, and there is an established hashtag. Put my teeth in with it already. Hashtag 100 owls, Sal, and I haven't done much on this. I like it. I just, it's one of those things when, last year when I was starting this Flosstube channel, I just wanted to start everything. And I did. And I'll get to that later, because that's part of the learning portion of this WIP parade. But it's beautiful. I'm doing it on a beautiful piece of limestone Lugana. It is Lugana, yes, limestone Lugana. And I enjoy stitching it. It's a beautiful chart. It's going to be gorgeous again when I finish it. I just haven't worked on it much. But that's 100 Owls by Owl Forest Embroidery. Next, it was my birthday start last year. This was, I didn't start it on my birthday specifically. I started it 6 days after my birthday. 100 Owls was started on August 1st. My birthday is August 3rd, and this next one I started on August the 9th. And this is Modern Folk Embroidery's MHD 1864, a Zealand sampler. I love this beautiful little sampler that Jacob has designed. It's, I'm doing this, he has 3 color options for this chart. I'm doing it in the blues colorway, which I really, really love. This is done on a beautiful cream Edinburgh linen, and I'm using 1 strand, and it makes it look very fine and very delicate, and I really enjoy stitching on it. Again, it's on my WIP Go board. It was called earlier in the year. I finished my goal on it earlier in the year for that particular month. And I just haven't pulled it back out, but what a beautiful chart this is. And I can't wait to get back to it. This is small. And if I, put my nose to the grindstone, I could finish this one this year, but we'll see what happens. But a beautiful chart, MHD 1864, a Zealand sampler. That one was a birthday start. This one is actually a birthday present. This is Star Wars. It's a dimension kit given to me on my birthday, Star Wars, Luke and Leia. And this is the piddliest looking start or progress that you will see in this WIP parade. Because I just haven't worked on it much. The dimensions kits are hard. And again, as I was working on things later in the year, this got pushed to the back, and it hasn't been called yet on my WIP Go board, etc., etc. But this is dimensions kits are wild, like some of this calls for 4 strands of the thread. 4. I don't like stitching with 4. It's like, you're pulling, a bungee cord through the fabric. It's horrible, but it's going to be fantastic. But we'll see how I do on it. We'll see when it's done. This may be a 2024 finish. We just don't know. But Star Wars, Luke and Leia. Let's see. When did I start that? I started that on September 6th, 2021, a month after my birthday. Star Wars, Luke and Leia. Next up, we have one of my favorites and yours, one you have seen recently, and that is the stunningly beautiful Miss Cherry Blossom by Nora Corbett for Mirabilia. This one has been on my WIP Go board, has been called twice this year, and I have finished both goals each month that it was called because I just love it. So this is a tribute piece to my Uncle Jimmy. And if you want to see the very weepy segment in which I told the story about my Uncle Jimmy, you need to go back through my library of videos. I can't remember exactly what video it was. Hold on, I'll look. Be right back. Okay, that was Flosstube number 17. If you want to hear the story of Uncle Jimmy, it's Flosstube number 17. Disclaimer, my hair looks horrible in that video. And I didn't like the light. I just looked rough in that video, and then I cry, and it was, anyway. But Miss Cherry Blossom is such a favorite here. I love it. I had to frog an entire section of it the last time I was stitching on it and redo it, which was a pain. I lost an entire afternoon worth of work, but it was worth it when I pulled it out and put it all back in, because if you mess up on a Mirabilia, unless you can really hide it, you have to just pull it out, because everything else is, just with anything, everything else staggers your problem, compounds your problem. Miss Cherry Blossom, beautiful, love it, love it, love it. Today, I missed last week. It was a busy week, and of course I felt guilty for missing last week. Missing a little exciting and new. Next, we have another one that you've seen relatively recently, and there is progress. This is what I stitched on this past week exclusively. I wanted to do more. I got it just, no excuses, no excuses. But this one, I have a little progress to show you on it. But this is Spirits of the Dead by Modern Folk Embroidery, part of Jacob's Dark Crosses range. And I love this quote by Edgar Allan Poe. I love Edgar Allan Poe. He's one of my favorite authors, poets and authors. And this is a chart that was originally charted to be a dark floss on a light background. Jacob inverted this for me, and now it's available for all of you on his website, doing it with a lighter floss on a dark background, and I just love this. This is my first piece I've ever tried with Sulky 12 weight, and I enjoy it. And you're seeing the progress from last week to this week. I got the entire bottom finished. That's a lot of stitches, you guys. And up the side. I say I didn't stitch much this past week. I guess I shouldn't say that, because that was a pretty good chunk of stitching right there. But I just love it. This is supposed to be finished. This is supposed to be finished this month, according to my WIP board. And I'm going to try to do it. I think I can do it. It's over there. If you see me looking, it's right over there on my frame. I think I can do it. I need to get a move on, because those sides with the vases, that's no joke when you're doing the background. If you're just stitching the vase, I can see. Jacob was like, oh, it's not that many more stitches when you do the inversion. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's a lot more stitches. But we'll see. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed for me that I can get that done this month, because I would love to get it finished. I would love to get something finished. And that's not a small, that's kind of a medium. So Dark Crosses, Spirits of the Dead, wonderful work by my dear friend Jacob, Modern Folk Embroidery. On November 11th, 2021, I started a beautiful piece that I love called The Nutcracker Tree. The Nutcracker Tree, this is a design by Joe Gatenby for X's and O's. And as you may have heard on my channel in previous videos, I was a professional dancer for many years, and I danced in nutcrackers. And so it's special to me. I also watched the Nutcracker, about 5 or as many versions as I can find during the holiday season, the Christmas season. And I just love them. This is a beautiful piece. I am doing it on a beautiful piece of cobalt blue Edinburgh linen, and I'm using étoile. I love saying it that way. I'm using Étoile, a royal blue DMC Étoile with the little silver flecks in it. This is just going to be gorgeous when it's done. As we get more, again, it's on my WIP Go board. It just hasn't been called since the holiday season, and I put it away. But it will reemerge. It's tricky to stitch onto because of the étoile. Étoile on a linen, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. And this chart has an interesting thing because it makes use, there no back stitching on the body. There's back stitching a little bit in the stars, but you don't back stitch those figures. It's all outlined with 3/4 and 1/4 stitches. And there's like at the end of every single row on them, you have to do one of those things. So it's a little bit tedious, but I love it. The Nutcracker tree. My Christmas start last year on December 25th, 2021 was another modern folk embroidery piece. I love modern folk embroidery if you haven't been able to tell. Red berries. And I started it and worked on it that day and a day or so after. Haven't gotten much on it. This won't take long once I get started on it. Using these beautiful Leo and Roxy fibers on a leftover piece of cream Edinburgh linen that I had from the Zealand sampler. And I really enjoyed stitching this when I was stitching on it. So you'll see it again. I don't know if it is on my WIP Go board or not, but that's another work in progress. We're on number 11 of 15, Red Berries by Modern Folk Embroidery. On January 1st, 2022, my friend Kathy at the Flosstube channel To Dye House and I started the hashtag STILLFRESHFRUITSAL to do Modern Folk Embroidery's Fruits of Plenty, the beautiful stitch along from last year. And I was going gangbusters on it and I ran out of my steam and I am so behind on it now. Kathy is not. She has stayed up on that sucker and hers looks amazing. So check her out if you don't follow her. But I love this. This was inspired by the Delft pottery of the Netherlands, and I'm using 3 different flosses for this, and one of them is a variegated floss, and I'm mixing some floss here and there depending upon the design. I absolutely love it. When I finish it, it's going to be incredibly stunning because every single one I've seen has been incredibly stunning. I just stitched on it so much at the beginning of the year I had to move on, and I haven't pulled it back out yet. And I need to. But I love it. Fruits of Plenty. You like it too. I get so many compliments when I show this one. Fruits of Plenty, Modern Folk Embroidery. Another one you've seen relatively recently is How Does Your Garden Grow? A mystery stitch along by my friends at Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This was a monthly stitch along. We have the next to last installment of it now, and I finished. I've been keeping up with it. I just haven't worked very much on this particular month, and I need to get to it because we're going to get the last installment on the 21st of this month, and that's coming up in a week. I don't know if I'll finish this section in a week's time. I might, if I move away from, well, we'll see. I might, but I'm really enjoying it. This is going to go in my kitchen where I tend to hang my more whimsical things. My Snoopy's in there, my Golden Girls is in the kitchen. This is going to go in the kitchen, obviously, because of all the food. But I love it. I love Caterpillar Cross Stitch's charts. They're very colorful and bright and just lovely to stitch. How Does Your Garden Grow? Mystery stitch along, hopefully a finish within a couple of months. My very first Heaven and Earth design is next, the Mini Train of Dreams, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by RANDAL Spangler. This is a stitch along, Train of Dreams Sal, that my dear neighbor Michaela, this was a gift from her, And the stitch along is, and she is doing amazingly well. I mean, she's going to finish this year. But again, I love doing this. I love this particular chart, and I really enjoy stitching it. I just haven't stitched much more on it. But you've seen it relatively recently. I started this on January 22nd of 2022, and you've seen this intermittently. I get into a full coverage mindset, and I'll click over into that, and that's what I want to work on, and I'll work on it for a while, and then I click out. But I really love it, and I hope to get more done on it and show you more on it. Mini Train of Dreams, artwork by RANDAL Spangler, Heaven and Earth Designs. My 14th piece is a piece that I haven't photographed, and I don't have it with me right now, but I'm just going to tell you about it. It's one of those mini masterpieces. It's an artwork. I can put the picture of it in. It's this one. It's the one Surat's Sunday, a Sunday afternoon on La Grande Jatte. It's Sunday in the Park with George. And I started that as a tribute to Stephen Sondheim on his passing. And I'm not done much, but it is technically a work in progress. And I've technically started it. And if I just sat down and devoted a weekend to it, I could finish it. But I haven't yet. But that's number 14. And number 15 is our dear Wedgwood number 2 by Aya Rosen for the hashtag Mary Will Sal. I am going to do both of these charts, Wedgwood 1 and Wedgwood 2, together on this beautiful Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers fabric called Chai Love You. Looks like chai latte tea. And a teacup kind of goes together. I'm going to do them together. I haven't worked on this one because I didn't want to jump ahead of the Sal, but now I'm behind, so I need to pull it out and work on it as we all continue to work on this Sal. But what a fun chart. I've seen it finished. My dear friend Sarah at Sarah finished it so beautifully. And I've seen others of you have as well. Please keep posting to hashtag Mary Will Sal on Instagram. Show me your work on this. It's such a special piece, and my heart is continually grateful to Aya Rosen for contributing her beautiful artwork to this. I just couldn't be happier with it. And that's number 15. Number 15 for my works in progress. That's a WIP parade. That's the end of the parade. And here's what I've learned. As I was putting this together, I started getting anxious, and I started getting a little bit depressed, because I'm a person, and I've learned this over the course of my 50 years on the planet. I need achievement. I need the satisfaction of completing something and being proud of it. And what I'm finding over the course of this cross-stitch journey that we've been taking together for just over a year is that I like having a lot of things going, because I like being invested in the community, and I like having things to show you new, because otherwise, if you were watching the same piece for 3 months until I finish it, that wouldn't be very entertaining. I mean, I try to keep you entertained with stories and toys, and Sal would make visits and what have you. But at the end of the day, this is called crisscross stitch. And I do want to continue doing the variety of things that I'm doing and working on. So I don't know what the resolution is. I think that you may have to endure me moaning the fact that I've only done a little bit on this work in progress, and I do not understand how some people have 400 WIPs. I don't think 400, but you know what I'm saying. Some people have a lot of works in progress, and that's great. That's great. But I don't know that I can handle many more than 15. And there are a couple of other things I'm going to start. I'm going to start that Minerva. I'm going to start a few more things. The trick or treat, I've got to do the next, start the next Caterpillar cross stitch along that just began, the Halloween one. But it put me in a very interesting mindset this morning, and it's a mindset that really, that I kind of enjoy. I enjoy sometimes analyzing myself and what is going on in my head, and what having this body of cross-stitch work going on, how, you know, what, turn the mirror back and reflect, well, why does this make you anxious? Why does this make you a little sad that you've not finished these things? And that's the thing, is that I want to finish them. I want to finish them. And somehow I feel like I'm not successful with them if I don't, or if they're dragging on and on and on. So anyway, that's just a little bit of pontification and realization as I was putting this together, just thinking to myself, this is interesting. Why am I feeling this way? But I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to keep working on the things that I'm working on. I'm going to start a couple of more things. And I guess I just need to remind myself that part of it is the joy of doing it alone, which is good. And part of it for me is the joy of seeing the finished work, which is also good. So I started a lot of huge things that I should have known would take me a lot longer than I realized. And the smaller things are the things that are going to give me that sense of accomplishment once they are done. So those need to be worked into the equation more often. Because a lot of these works in progress that I've seen, that I've shown you today, are really large projects. They're not, you know, max size Hades, but Fruits of Plenty is no joke. That's a year-long project. And I'm doing several things. That alone could do a stitch for a year without anything else, Fruits of Plenty. So it's interesting. It's a learning, and I'm glad to have you guys to vent to. So thank you for listening to me ramble, and thank you for listening to me vent. And I hope that you enjoyed it if you've not seen some of those things in a while. So thanks for watching my parade. You know I keep my comb right below the camera line, and in between breaks I comb my hair. I do, because it goes everywhere. I have a few giveaway winners to announce. This morning, something was wrong with, and is still wrong with, the YouTube random comment picker that I normally use. You know how I normally do the screenshot and put it here of the winner who won? I don't have those today because that particular one that I used was not working. But I went to another one and it was working. So here are the winners from last week. Oh, and by the way, all the giveaways from the past several weeks are going out today. The post office is going to pick them up this afternoon, and they will be on their way to you. Not these, but from prior weeks. So here we go. The first was the bird bundle. This adorable little bundle of 3 different charts, all with birds on them. Keyword for this was bird, obviously. And the winner is JOANNA LYNN Creations. JOANNA LYNN Creations, congratulations. Next, this very, very, very cute chart. Keyword for this was treasure. The crab and the octopus, the treasure chest. This is a very beachy, summery chart. Love this one. And the winner of this is, the keyword was treasure. The winner, Charlotte Gaskins. Congratulations, Charlotte. Charlotte Gaskins. And then finally, a gorgeous Haid, a gorgeous heaven and earth design. This one, the keyword was river walk, because a river walk is depicted in this chart. And the winner of this, Patti Miller. Patti Miller, congratulations. If all three of you will email me with your addresses at the email you're seeing below, crisscrossstitch@gmail.com, 3 S's, cross with an X, crisscrossstitch@gmail.com. I will be getting those to you in the next batch of giveaways that I send probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But congratulations. And of course, I have 3 giveaways this week. The first is a lovely chart by the folks at It's So Emma Fat Quarter Shop, such a wonderful store, great people, and they have provided this amazing chart for me to give to you. It is called Bloom Where You're Planted. And this is a big chart. There's a border in there. There are some smalls in there. Bloom Where You're Planted. This is a great summer chart. This is available at Fat Quarter Shop, but I'm giving it to you here. If you would like to be considered for this giveaway, please use the keyword bloom. Next up, we have an adorable kit. Now this kit was provided by a fellow neighbor, and it's actually a thing that you can hang. This comes with a little metal piece, and you can make a small banner out of this. And I just thought this was hysterically funny. This is called the Welcome to Our Reading Room. This is for you to hang in your bathroom because it's these little outhouses. It's just so cute. Welcome to the reading room. If you would like to be considered for this cute little kit, please use the keyword reading, R-E-A-D-I-N-G, reading. I thought about using outhouse, but that'd just be tacky. And then finally, I have another amazing Haid. This beautiful, beautiful Haid. And this is a color lover's dream. Farewell to Anger. Farewell to Anger. Beautiful street scene. This is a thick chart. And this would take some time, but man, how beautiful is this? If you would like to be considered for this heaven and earth design, please use the keyword farewell. Farewell. And now it's time for me to bid you farewell. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have enjoyed the WIP parade. I hope that, and thank you again for listening to me vent and ramble. As I sit here right now, I think about what I said after that WIP parade, and I don't know if I made any sense whatsoever, but you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to not go back and redo that. But I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your being here every single week. I hope that you have a great week ahead. I hope that you remember to criss it up when you need to criss it up. That's what I should have been telling me when I was doing that dissertation after the WIP parade. I just need to criss it up, don't I? I do. Just criss it up. And have a great week ahead. Stay cool or warm, depending on where you are. And have some great stitching, and I'll see you here next week. Take care. Bye-bye.